You're listening to WSTU Stewart.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
Well, a very pleasant good evening. Time for Startup Talk right here on WPSL and WSTU, and WPSL and STU on Alexa and Google Home. And speaking of Google, here's our host, Tom Kindred.
That's right. That's sure I am. Barely know how to use Google. And welcome to another segment and installment of Startup Talk, the show designed to assist and help Treasure and Resource Coast residents who want to start, grow, or accelerate their business. As I always say, what a great place it is to own and operate a business along the beautiful Research and Treasure Coast. We will spend time during our hour together this evening to highlight and create awareness regarding the very powerful and robust business assistance and support programs that exist right here in our community at our very own Indian River State College. I am Tom Kindred, and I serve as the Regional Director for the Small Business Development Center here at Indian River State College. Underwriters for this segment of Startup Talk are the Florida SBDC at IRSC and our good friends at Express Printing of Port St. Lucie. So, Greg, how are you this evening?
Doing well. Doing very well, as a matter of fact.
And we are well into our Pioneer basketball men's and women's season.
That we are. The guys are 17-4.
Wow.
We are in the top 40 nationally and number 7 in the state of Florida. Very cool.
Wow.
And by the way, at 5 o'clock last night, we got the preseason predictions, and the IRSC softball team is number 6 in the country. And it's
so they continue to be stacked, I guess.
Yeah,
and, yes,
they're
with
gonna
all
be
kinds of
loaded.
great players.
They are going to be loaded.
Okay.
And 16 academic awards last night for 4.0 GPAs. And these are the athletes.
All right, so let me get this straight. So 16 Pioneer student athletes have a 4.0.
Yeah.
Wow.
4.0 is nothing special. I got that in 4
sure.
years.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, amazing. But, swimmers, the volleyball players, and actually we had one of our basketball players.
Nice.
Has a 4.0 GPA. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that is good stuff. And, we've had Scott Kimmelman on the show in the past. He's the athletic director for Indian River State College. And, he's very proud of his student athletes. Got a great graduation rate. So he does a nice job over there, and as well as the coaches do with all the teams. So it's an impressive program. And and as I always say when we talk about what's going on in sports at Indian River State College, it is a great opportunity to really see and attend collegiate athletics, and normally never any charge to go to a game.
Kind of like the SBDC.
That's right.
Huh?
There is
How
no
about
charge, and we too are a top 10 player in our field. That's right. So again, great opportunity. I encourage you to get out one evening and go see a men's and women's basketball game. It really is a lot of fun, to be back in the gym and with all that excitement going on. And again, we've got a great team here.
Yeah,
along
we
the
had a
Treasure
great
Coast.
crowd last night. It was awesome.
Well, good. Okay. Again, we are still new to 2019, so things are kind of still getting cranked up. Spring semester's kind of underway. Great to be back on campus. Lots of students roaming around, going to class, and as well as the CCTI score we've had on the show the last week. So, again, trying to kick off a lot of new training programs, a lot of new initiatives that are happening this spring, especially in the area of business training. So I want to cover just a couple. But before we do, let me introduce. We've got 3 great guests this evening with us. These are all very accomplished entrepreneurs doing some great things with their products and services. And so let me quickly introduce. We've got from a company called Barricade International, and I don't want to spoil their product yet because it is an incredible product. But with Barricade, founders, owners, and operators, we've got Ben and his father John. Ben and John, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tom. It's nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And we've also got joining us via the phone. We've got another great entrepreneur that I've really had a great time working with and getting to know. We've got Mr. Jason Corbiere. Welcome to the show, Jason.
Hey, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So we're going to get to our entrepreneurs in just a minute. I'm telling you, you're going to want to turn the volume up. These are incredible products that these guys have created and have launched. But real quickly, want to talk just about some upcoming trainings and opportunities for our business community. I want to highlight again. We've had Melanie George on from Indian River State College just recently. She talked about an incredible program that we launched this January, January the 7th. We launched a program. It's the Lincoln Park Career Pathways Initiative program.
You bet.
Yeah, we've had Upinda from the Common Good Initiative, funded by the Franciscan Ministry. Incredible program. So it kicked off in January, and I want to make sure that everybody knows that we are now beginning the recruitment process for the next round of our Lincoln Park Career Pathways Initiative. Residents of the Lincoln Park area in Fort Pierce can have access to 3 programs. One is our Fast Track to Manufacturing program, where they have the opportunity to get a certified production technician certification. They can also participate in what we call the CLA, the Certified Logistics Associate program, or they are offering the CNA program, which is the Certified Nursing Assistant. So got a number of students making their way through the program right now, and again, looking to begin recruitment for the next round of that program. So if you reside in the Lincoln Park area, in Fort Pierce, you need to check out this program, and you can find out more about it by contacting Mrs. Melanie George at Indian River State College, and her number is 462-7395. Incredible program. So again, some standard good trainings that we're doing on a regular basis through the CCTI. We've got the basic Microsoft Office training program. That'll start on main campus January the 29th. Know how to use your computer, but looking for more in-depth knowledge on how to use the Microsoft Office programs, this class is for you. I need to go to that class. I threatened. Maybe this is my year. Very innovative and unique class we have going, very popular right now. We've got a remote pilot flight training program for drones. Our good friend, Dr. Raul Salazar, he's also been on the show talking about drones. So whether this is your first time flying a drone or have some experience, this 6-hour hands-on flight class will teach you how to properly prepare for your first flight and stay airborne. So again, great new innovative program, remote pilot flight training. That's going to take place start on February the 2nd. That's a Saturday class, and that'll be on main campus as well. One of Bob O'Brien, our good friend at the CCTI, one of his favorite classes is the Certified Personal Trainer class. You can become an NCCA accredited certified personal trainer. The CCTI at IRSC has partnered with the World Instructor Training School, WITS, to offer a personal trainer certification course as a great way to prepare for the on-campus national exam. And you can kind of live out the dream of becoming a successful personal trainer. That's going to start on February the 2nd. That's a Saturday class. So again, a certified personal trainer class coming at you. One of our most popular training programs in the area of Public Works is the APWA Florida chapter of the Public Works Institute at CCTI. Basically, this is a 3-module, 90-hour certification training class for those that are in the field of public works. Very popular class. Through this certification with the APWA Institute at IRSC, public works supervisors, crew leaders, and managers learn the skills that are vital to managing a highly functioning workplace. So a great program. Again, 3 modules. supervisory and workplace skills, leadership management, public trust, and leading forward. Again, that's going to kick off on February the 5th on main campus here at Indian River State College. Got our very popular program that we brought up from Martin County. We've got a BAP program, which is the Business Accelerator Program. I think John and our guest tonight, John and Ben,
program.
Participated in this program down in Martin County. Well, we are taking it on the road. We are bringing it up to Port St. Lucie. So this.
See, you guys moved to Port St. Lucie. You could do it again.
That's right. So that's going to take place at our Enterprise Hub at the St. Lucie West campus, the Pruitt campus there, and that'll start on February the 6th. Great program, and I think I'm gonna ask John and Ben during our discussion tonight to talk a little bit about the BAT program and how it helped them. But incredible program, all kinds of, it's 12 nights of different topics, time management, dealing with difficult people, sales and marketing, customer service, small business finance, the business plan. So all kinds of different topics in this program. And again, brought to you by the City of Port St. Lucie, and Center State Bank is working with them as well. And my final announcement is one that's very near and dear and close to my heart. We've got a Pioneer Pitch Panel event coming up on Wednesday, February the 6th. We love this event and love doing it here on main campus in the beautiful Brown Center. Got a great venue to do this event. We've got 4 incredible products and inventions and innovations that are going to be presented. And what's really cool about this particular Pioneer Pitch event, our Shark Tank-like event, is that we're going to highlight and celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Indian River State College's Entrepreneur of the Year event. And the Entrepreneur of the Year is the college's most prestigious award that they hand out. So 20 years of that event have taken place. 20 entrepreneurs over the last 20 years have been given this award. And so our panel that night on February the 6th is going to be made up of past recipients of that award. So got an incredible
nice
panel. We've got a couple of CEOs from the local area. One of the panelists that's going to serve with us put Sobe drink on the shelf. So I mean, these are players in the world of entrepreneurship. So again, got a great panel that are going to serve with us at this Shark Tank Pitch Panel event. So again, I encourage folks, if you like the TV show, you're going to love it live. So if you want to register for the event, we always like to get kind of a head count of who's coming. You can go to that IRSCbiz.com site, click on that events calendar, and go to the month of February and register. There's no charge to come to the event, but we do have limited seating. So,
and Dr. Massey said for the 20th straight year, I will not win the award.
Well, Greg, that's a great idea. I may put you in for the award, Greg. I may do that. That's a good idea, Greg.
Hey, look, we lost 13 Emmy nominations, so there's no way I'd do that.
You're the best kind of entrepreneur, man. You've got great perseverance, Greg. You've hung in there all those years. All right, with that, I want to turn now to three great businesses, but three great entrepreneurs that I've had the pleasure of working with, the honor of working with. These are smart guys and very innovative thinkers, and they've done some great work with their products. And they're actually going to be pitching. They're going to present their products at that February 6th Shark Tank event, so you'll get a little preview tonight. But you're going to want to see them live because they're worth seeing live. But again, I want to welcome back to the show John and Ben, who are the owners and founders of a company called Barricade International. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
And we got my good friend Jason Corbiere with us via the phone. Jason, welcome again to the show.
Thanks, Tom.
I want to start. Let's start with Jason. Jason, talk to me a little bit about your pathway. Now, you're a young guy, so you haven't been around as long as people like Greg and I have been. But talk to us about your short pathway to your current position as founder and owner of a company called Secret Sequence.
Absolutely. So, I may be young, but the path has been long and winding so far.
So you're like entrepreneurs live in dog years. You say that's what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. So I graduated from Rutgers University in New Jersey with a degree in molecular biology and biochemistry. Started a tutoring business soon after that, and then eventually moved to Florida. Got into sales, but I always wanted to be back in biotech. So when the opportunity arose, a friend told me about a startup clinical laboratory starting on the Treasure Coast, and I jumped at that opportunity. I was there for a couple years, and then, along with my partner that I met at that clinical laboratory, started to think of maybe that there was something that we could do together that was a little bit different, regarding genetic testing. So that's how we started Secret Sequence.
Well, talk to us. I mean, you developed a new offering in this DNA sequencing market. I think, everybody may have heard of the 23andMe, I guess, or kind of DNA sequencing, and you're sort of in that space, but you've got your own new twist to that product. Talk a little bit about your product and what exactly is it designed to do?
Absolutely. So, like you said, our product is similar in ways to 23andMe or Ancestry DNA. So you can learn about your ancestry, you can learn about your health and predisposition to cancers. But we also do like skincare, nutrition, exercise, drug metabolism, and even a personality test. And this is all based on your genes, which are really the instructions for how your body operates.
All right.
So our company you can think of it kind of like as a Snapchat for your genes. So the idea is that you get to sign up anonymously, you pay anonymously, you get your results online, and then we delete them permanently. And there's a reason for that that we can get into in a little bit here, but I just wanted to kind of give you the 10,000-foot overview there. So.
And how does the model work? Again, you order it online. Is that how do you get the product? How does it all work in terms of folks using the product?
Right. So just like any genetic test, the idea is that you have to submit a genetic sample. So the first step is you go to our website, you sign up, and you can create an account completely anonymously, and then from there. You get to, choose whatever tests you want, and then pay anonymously, whether that be with credit card, which we never ask for a name or address or anything associated with that credit card, or cryptocurrency. So we also accept Bitcoin and Litecoin as a form of payment.
Okay. Let's talk just a minute, because I think it is important. You and I have had the opportunity to go, pitch your product to a couple of folks, and it has come up that a lot of folks, we even heard from even medical people in the medical field that said their biggest concern with a product like 23andMe was that maybe they might have a problem with getting insurance, if some things didn't turn out well on these tests. So speak to that kind of issue where the whole privacy really does matter.
Right. So the biggest issue when it comes to genetic testing is that you are basically taking this information and you're digitizing it, right? You're taking your genetic information, which pretty much says all of these different things about you, and then you're putting it in a digital form and then connecting it to your identity. So if you've paid attention at all to the news in the past, 5 years, you've heard of all these different hacks that have occurred. You've heard of Google being hacked, Experian being hacked, the misuse of data by Facebook. And 23andMe just recently got, $300 million from GlaxoSmithKline, which is a drug maker, so that they can access that genetic database. So the idea here is that there's a lot of individuals and groups that may be interested, including even like law enforcement agencies, in categorizing and cataloging genetic information and using it for their own interests.
Right.
So that's really why we're doing what we're doing, because I really believe in the utility and the benefit of genetic testing. But personally, I wouldn't want to get my genes tested by, say, 23andMe or Ancestry.com, just because their business model is to sell that data.
All right. Okay. And just kind of give us the brief, what history of your company, Secret Sequence. How long have you guys been around? How long have you been working on this?
So I've been working, my partner and I have been working on this for about maybe a year and a half now, but we just launched about 2 months ago. So
Okay.
that kind of tells you how much thought and kind of research went into putting this process together.
Okay.
It's very important for us to be doing things as anonymously as possible and really always thinking of the customer. That's really our number one priority.
All right.
So, yeah.
Well, Jason, again, impressive work that you've done. And it's been a real pleasure to work with you over the last number of months and go on the road with you and do our pitching and visiting and consulting. So we appreciate it. So I want you to just stand by. We're going to talk a little more with you, Jason, but I want to turn to John and Ben now and talk just a minute about Barricade International. I guess, John, the father, Ben, the son. So, John, we'll start with you. Kind of your pathway to Barricade International.
It was very unplanned to be sitting here talking with you tonight, and the path that led us here. I was a longtime firefighter. Started my career here in Martin County back in the 80s, and then went down to Palm Beach County. And it was during a fire event in Jupiter, Florida. It was a pretty common type of event for firefighters. It was a trash fire. It wasn't a big house fire or anything like that. It was
Right.
a couple of bags of trash that had been thrown out onto the screened-in porch, presumably to go out to the curb the next day or whatever. Nobody was home at the time of the fire, so it got going pretty good until the neighbors across
Right.
the street saw the smoke and called us. And we went there and put it out very quickly and easily. But in the mop-up stage, cleaning up, making sure the fire was dead out, we noticed it caught our attention because it looked like white unburned tissue paper, and everything else in the fire was blackened and charred. And we did the firefighter analysis. We picked it up and we sniffed it, and it was a little smelly, but it was white and unburned, which again caught our attention. And it took us a little bit to realize that it was actually the remains of what had been a used, stinky, wet, disposable baby diaper that had been thrown out in the trash. And I threw it to the ground very quickly after that, after realizing what it was.
Right.
When my son was in diapers, I didn't make this discovery during that period of time for obvious reasons.
Certainly wish you had, though.
Yeah, thanks, Dad.
You'd be a trillionaire right now.
But and my dad, who was alive at the time, was also a firefighter for many, many years. He spent 47 years in the fire service, I believe. So we started talking about it, and it didn't take long to realize that the reason the diaper didn't burn in that trash fire that day was due to the fact that they put chemicals in these baby diapers. The chemicals are put in there to help the diaper work better, soak up and hold lots of water. And it was that characteristic, that ability to soak up and hold lots of water, that kept that diaper from burning in that fire that day. So that was the spark, no pun intended. That was
Right.
that was the genesis of the thought process. And our yardstick for success was pretty primitive and pretty simple back then. We just wanted to come up with a formulation that we could pick up with our standard firefighting equipment. Foam, we do that with foam routinely in the fire
Right.
service. So our formulation efforts and our research was geared to the simple, let's make this work with standard firefighting equipment. We worked on that, and pretty much that's where we are today. We have
What does your product do?
Okay.
What does Barricade do?
that same ability to soak up and hold water, and that chemistry is called superabsorbent polymers, by the way. That's the chemistry that's in diapers. We took that, put it into a liquid form, and now we can pick it up in various ways. We can pick it up and mix it with a garden hose, so a homeowner can use it. So it doesn't have to be a firefighter, but firefighters can also use it with the standard equipment that they have. We're looking at using it in helicopters and aircraft. But basically, when you take this concentrate, these superabsorbent polymers, and mix them with water at about a 2 to 3% mix, so it doesn't take a whole lot to do a whole lot of good. and we've been spraying them onto houses in front of wildland fires that are coming at them and saving houses. We've saved a lot of houses. Unfortunately, the big fire that was in the news recently in Paradise, California, that was a fire that I think is going to be a game changer in the fire world. It's going to make us, the fire service, look at the job we do, how we can do it better, and how we can make sure that something like that doesn't happen again. And we hope to play a very big role in that.
So your product, basically, you spray it onto the home, which can be done very easily. It's not a complex process.
Correct.
Spray this product on the home prior to kind of a wildfire, episode or event, and it prevents the house from catching on fire.
We've done that thousands of times. That time frame for spraying it on can be anywhere from several minutes to an hour. We want our users to use it safely, so we don't want them putting their lives in jeopardy, obviously, to use it. But before the time that the fire service tells you that it's time to evacuate from an endangered community, that's when we want our homeowners taking the effective action themselves of using their garden hose, spraying it onto their home, evacuating to safety, and many, many homes have still been standing when they come back.
Is it like a foam?
We call it a gel. A foam is basically a soapy solution. It takes surfactant, it's the soap, and it makes air bubbles. Ours is a different chemistry. It takes, we use the analogy of a chemical sponge. That's how these superabsorbent polymers work. So instead of an air bubble that can break pretty easily in wind or high heat environments that we see in wildland fire conditions, this is more like a wet, sticky sponge that sticks to the surface. So for that reason, it takes a lot longer to either through evaporation or the heat of the fire to remove that water from the surface of the house that we're trying to protect. And that's why it's such a quantum leap in protection.
Now this, and again, pretty simple, straightforward product for the typical home, 2,500, 3,000 square feet, something of that nature. I mean, how many gallons does the homeowner need?
We've got a couple of rules of thumb. Obviously, every house is different. You could have two 2,500 square foot homes that take completely different amounts. It depends on building material, if it's a fire-resistant roof or T111 siding versus stucco, those type of factors. So we do a lot of one-on-one consulting with our customers to determine those needs. On average, though, most houses will take somewhere between 4 to 10 gallons of our concentrate, and that translates to somewhere between $500 to maybe $1,000 to protect the average size home.
Right. So again, we're not talking about some big tanker truck of this product. We're talking a couple of 5-gallon pails that can be stored in the garage, and we're not talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're talking hundreds of dollars. Right.
Exactly.
And
To save hundreds of thousands
to
of
save
dollars.
hundreds of thousands. That's a
Hopefully
great point.
millions.
Right. Now, so as a homeowner, I buy this product. How long would it last in my garage? So I buy it and it's there. Can I keep the product in my garage?
Yes, you can definitely keep the product in your garage. We recommend keeping it in kind of a temperature regulated garage, whether it doesn't get above 120, it doesn't get below freezing. But the average homeowner, we've been telling them that the product, as long as you shake it every 6 months, it's good for about 3 years.
Okay.
We know that it can be extended past that, but we recommend our end customers to be replacing their product about every 3 years.
Now, same kind of questions that we talked to Jason about. What's the history of Barricade? Now, Jason's been working about a year and a half. I think you've been at this a little longer, have you not, John?
A little bit longer,
Yeah.
a year and a half. I saw the diaper didn't burn in 1993.
Wow.
So
Wow.
we've been at this for a while. However,
So
in my
his
defense,
windy road
counselor-
is a little windy.
Yeah, you got a long, winding road, yes.
But I didn't really start off to be a businessman or a chemical manufacturer. That wasn't in my plans. I wanted to be a good firefighter and a good paramedic, and was in the middle of a great career with Palm Beach County Fire Rescue. And so I've been able to do both for the last, since the mid-90s.
But you're in business. People can buy this product today. You're in production.
Absolutely. We've got, this year, one of the big steps for us this year was we opened up a second location in Southern California, which gives us warehousing capabilities, which translates to much quicker delivery times. Obviously, California is one of the states that we do most of our business in currently.
Okay.
And so we're pleased to have a presence out there now. But we love South Florida. My son is a student at your college, and
good place to be.
Yes, it is. So we're looking to be here. We love the support that we're getting from the SBDC here in Martin County, and so we're just very happy to be right here.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about that in a minute too. I want to go back to you, Jason, again, just to go back to our secret sequence product. So again, Jason, you are also, I mean, you have launched the product. It is available out there now for folks to purchase, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
All right. Talk a little bit about how someone does connect with you and order the product.
Sure. I'd be happy to kind of explain that process. So our website is www.secretsequence.com, and that's a great place to go and kind of learn more about privacy, learn more about genetics, and then kind of see what our tests offer. So, for example, our health and cancer test has 280 pages to it, so it's very, very in depth. One of the tests that I was particularly interested in was Parkinson's, as Parkinson's runs in my family, so that's included in there. Plus, a multitude of cancers and health conditions. Ancestry, we do 500 plus regions around the world, not just countries, but actually areas within countries that you can learn about where your heritage is from. And so each of those tests, the ancestry test is $199. Each of the other tests are $249. But when you bundle them together, you can save up to 55%. So if you're interested in multiple things, no problem. We got you. We can make sure that you're not spending an arm and a leg to learn all this stuff about you.
Okay. And so far, you guys are pleased with the launch, and you're generating traffic, and you're selling the kits, are you not?
Absolutely. Yeah. We've had some good response so far. Looking forward to launching more nationally as well and getting into other markets too. So, But so far we're extremely pleased with the response. Well,
again, Jason, let's talk just a minute too. You kind of talked about the winding road of entrepreneurship, and you're you're a young entrepreneur, and this entrepreneurship game sometimes is for the young. Talk to us a little bit about the challenges of launching a tech product like you've launched. I mean, what kind of hurdles do you hit when you're trying to get something off the ground like this?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think as a small team, my partner and I, we have to be a jack of all trades, master of none. But with that, there can be challenges because we're doing a lot of things for the first time, right? So learning new skills, learning new ways to do things. It's challenging, but it's also very rewarding and exciting. So that's really kind of the rush of entrepreneurship is doing something different and new and finding new ways to solve problems. I'm sure the other gentlemen on the call could understand that.
Yeah. Well, and that's a good point. And I want to ask Ben, the younger partner here in the Barricade organization. Ben, talk to us about your thoughts about entrepreneurship. What were some of the biggest challenges for Barricade, and what do you guys still face as an entrepreneur and a new startup business?
I would say some of the biggest challenges we face are just like Jason said, you have to be a jack of all trades at your own business. As a small company, we on a daily basis are not only down in the warehouse fulfilling orders, but we're also upstairs answering calls and answering back emails and making sure that we're scheduling meetings with the appropriate people, and then going back downstairs and making sure that the packages are getting on the UPS truck. And sometimes it's all hands on deck.
Right. Well, and Jason and Ben and John, you make great points. I mean, you really do have to be, you've got to be an expert in sales, inventory control, sometimes manufacturing. Social media is such a big part today of entrepreneurship.
Sure is.
I mean, Jason, talk a little bit about the social media aspects. I mean, you had to, of course, build a platform in order to even launch your product on social media.
Absolutely, yeah. So, I mean, beyond just building our website, which we did all in-house, which was, a process in itself, we have created and managed all our social media accounts, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So, managing those things is time-consuming, but that's how you really engage with your customers and how people really learn about you. So if anyone wants to learn more, that's another great way to connect with us is on Facebook. And so you can kind of learn more about. And we do blog, we do posting, we do content, we do a lot of different things to make sure we're staying engaged with our audience.
Yeah, and for John and Ben at Barricade, it's the same thing. I mean, a lot of wildfire activity this past year in California, but you're in Martin County and St. Lucie County here along the Treasure Coast. So you've really got to have quite the presence in social media so people can find the product. Talk a little bit about how people find you guys on the web, and then talk about that kind of aspect of the business.
Well, just like any other company, we have a Twitter account, an Instagram account, a Facebook account, as well as YouTube.
Which a year or two ago, I didn't even know what that meant.
Still learning, John. Still learning, yeah.
So what's been great is I've been able to control the Instagram and Twitter accounts, and then our West Coast coordinator, George, has been on the Facebook, and he also has a truck and trailer that have been wrapped with our logo on it. So as he's going down the highway, it's creating even more buzz in California. People are wondering, okay, what's this product? And when they go into Google and type in Barricade Fire Gel, it's the first thing that comes up, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Right. His efforts out there and our efforts controlling the social media from Florida are really driving people to our website and driving sales for us.
What is the website, Ben?
It's firegel.com.
Okay.
Very easy.
Nice. All right. So let's talk real quickly. You both folks, which I consider you guys to be very smart and savvy entrepreneurs, because both of you engaged and took advantage of programs at Indian River State College like the SBDC. I mean, Jason, talk a little bit about your involvement. How'd you find out about the SBDC, and has it been beneficial in helping get Secret Sequence out in the marketplace?
Absolutely. So I actually learned about the SBDC down in West Palm Beach from another friend who's an entrepreneur. She had told me and had actually brought them in to do training for her employees. And I saw what a great job they did down there. And I was like, well, maybe there's another program up by me. And it turned out there was.
Right.
And that's how I met you, Tom. But in that process, it's really been amazing because I've gotten all sorts of feedback. I've been taught all sorts of things about, business plans and kind of approaching investors, pitching. These are all extremely important things, especially for a startup like myself, where we really are looking to get funding. So having, kind of to learn the entrepreneur and the pitch culture and how to approach investors has been extremely valuable to me.
Great.
Yeah,
and John and Ben, you guys actually you participated in what we call the BAT program down in Martin County. Talk a little bit about the BAT program, because you guys did a great job with that program.
Thank you. I do have one major regret about your program, Tom, and that is that I didn't know about it sooner.
Well, join the crowd.
Thomas said that several times.
The first thing I always ask all the consultants is, where were you people when I was in business? So, yeah.
So much of what Jason has said, I'm sitting here nodding my head, because I think any entrepreneur or anybody that's tried to get a business started and off the ground has experienced the same type of questions, maybe not the exact same scenario, but the same general type of. I remember there was a point in our company's history where getting patents was the big thing, and that was before I became aware of the SBDC and the Business Accelerator Program, and so we were kind of just flying by the seat of our pants,
Right.
We were asking people for opinions about attorneys that could help us, and to learn that there's a resource that we can come to. And I just wish I had known about it sooner, because I just think of all of the challenges that we had in the past that could have been much more easily overcome with the assistance that I now know is available through programs like the Business Accelerator.
And you bring up
program.
a good point too. I want to real quickly ask both of you, Jason and Ben and John, intellectual property. You talked about patents. I guess Barricade has patents on this product. It is a patented product, and
we do. We did wing it through that process, and as a net result, we have I think 3 U.S. patents issued now, and many international patents based on those, and just that process of going through the patent process and then maintaining your patent protection, and your IP rights, is an ongoing challenge for any business owner that has to deal with that. So again, I've learned a lot about that particular segment of our business.
Right. Jason, what about you in the area of intellectual property? I mean, was that something you had to deal with your product?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we're currently dealing with now. We have an application in for a service mark, so we're going to see where that goes. But yeah, I mean, there's always that concern about you putting together this kind of this process that you want to make sure that you're getting the benefit of. So it's always a concern for sure.
And Jason, you pointed out, which I think is a great point. You talked about the that pitch culture, and I've never heard it talked about, described that way. But you're so right. I mean, it really is it is about the pitch, and now, we do talk about that quite a bit in this area of entrepreneurship. But so often, folks that come to us and they're talking about a new product or idea, one of the first things we do talk to them about is, well, you've got to develop a pitch. And so often they kind of like, we don't need to do that. But Jason, I think you can really speak to that. I mean, being able to pitch your product in a proper, organized, compelling way is important, is it not?
It's extremely important. And I think the biggest thing is to not get offended when people give you feedback, right? So I've worked with the consultants in the SBDC, and they had some good but hard feedback the first time I came in. But the second time I came back with my pitch, I took that feedback to heart and had really made large improvements to the pitch. And I remember when I was talking to Brian, the consultant, and I pitched him the second time, he said, by the end of the pitch, you had me sweating, about my genetic privacy, because I got my 23andMe test done. So inspiring some emotion is a good thing, I think.
Yeah.
So.
And again, John, talk a little bit about, I mean, how many times have you pitched Barricade? And, my gosh, I mean, you probably thousands of times, either officially or unofficially, you've been pitching for years, really.
And culture is probably the right word, and it took me a while to realize that. Now, up till this point in time, we've our company financing has been at the friends and family stage.
Right.
But we now know, and in working with the SBDC and helping us to develop our forward-looking business models, we know that we're not too far away from the day where we are going to need an additional infusion, an additional investment into the company. So we're really excited to be working with you to get that pitch better, better prepared. And I'm nervously looking forward to the 6th of February, where we'll actually have to do some pitching.
You guys are gonna be great. Jason, talk real quickly about you're going to be one of the presenters February the 6th. Talk about the opportunity to get out and do this. Do you enjoy it? What do you think about it?
I think by nature, I'm a pretty shy person, right? So the way I've been and the way I've had to grow and push myself, in presentation and in sales and in kind of getting in front of people and being confident about what you're talking about, that's taken time and practice and effort. But now like I can't wait. I can't wait to get in front of them, because I believe so much in what we're doing. And I always want to hear feedback. I always want to be better. Whether or not that pitch leads to an investment is we'll see what happens. Right. But ultimately, I want to get more feedback and from those successful individuals. So I can't wait to get in front of them.
Yeah. And so, Ben and John, you guys are going to probably you're gonna kind of present together, you think? And what are your thoughts on? You said nervously looking forward to it. I know you guys are going to do a great job, but talk a little bit about the opportunity to pitch. I mean,
just like Jason, I'm not a huge fan of being up in front of large crowds and even in small groups presenting. And I come from the medical device industry, and I have a background of barricade, and I've always had it since I was younger. But pitching in front of people and being confident about what your product is and how it works, and even having to go out in the field and pitch to firefighters, knowing that my father is the firefighter and I have a medical device background, you kind of just have to be confident in yourself.
Yeah, well, again, and you guys, both of you, really have impressive products, and you've done great work. I mean, products that really are changing the marketplace. So it's got to be. It really does have to be, a lot of fun and really encouraging to get out and talk about your products, because they really can change lives. I mean, both of these products can do that. So, and again. A lot of times, and I think Jason touched on it, pitching is about, raising funds and potentially, acquiring those partners. But I think, and what we try to stress with folks is, most of the time you're not going to get any funds. You're going to have to pitch an awful lot to get there, to get to the money. But the most important thing is the feedback, is the questions, and pitching really is more about learning and listening than it is talking. Is that about right?
Absolutely. Again, we went through that 10-week business accelerator program, and a couple of the classes were devoted to the process, the magic, the art, if you will,
right,
of pitching. And personally, I learned an awful lot just in those evening classes that we took, and looking forward to continuing that educational process.
As we sort of come to a close, I want to just kind of circle back around. Jason, give us your 2-minute pitch on Secret Sequence. Tell us why we should be seeking this out on the internet.
Okay. Well, to reiterate, privacy when it comes to genetics is extremely important. Your genes tell you all sorts of things about yourself, and once that information is out in cyberspace, once a company has their hands on it, there's no way to guarantee that information is being used in a way that's going to be beneficial for you. So Secret Sequence was created to enable our customers to have true anonymity when they're processing their genetic information. Like I said before, kind of like a Snapchat for genetics. If you know what Snapchat is, it's an app that deletes the picture after it's been taken and sent.
Right.
So we're trying to do the same thing with genes. We're trying to give you the picture of who you are, your genetic picture, but then delete it and make sure no one else can access it or use it for any other reasons.
Nice.
So that's what
how does someone find out more information? Give us your website and contact information.
One more time, our website is www.secretsequence.com. You can email us at info@secretsequence.com. And now we just have a new phone number, 833-SECRET-3. So if you want to get in touch with us via phone, you can call us at 833-SECRET-3.
All right, same thing for Barricade. Give us that 2-minute pitch, Barricade.
Well, at this point, it's become known as a product to help save homes in wildfires. That's our initial foot in the door, so to speak. But at this point in our development, I feel very strongly that what we're really talking about here is a change in the way we fight fires in the future, not just wildfires, but every type of fire that any fire department faces. In my father's long career in the fire service, again, he was in the service for 45 years. I spent 31 years. During that whole period of time, my observation of the changes in the fire service has been we are seeing bigger fires, more difficult to extinguish fires. So we're making bigger hoses, bigger fire trucks, bigger. We're improving on our capability to get large amounts of water there. But that has, of course, translated to a great increase in the cost of fire protection on a nationwide basis. I think we represent, the barricade technology represents the beginning of a reversal of that bigger hoses, bigger fire truck scenario. We're increasing the efficiency of the water that the fire trucks carry, allowing firefighters to extinguish fires more quickly and easily. So instead of flowing tens of thousands of gallons of water at a fire incident to put it out, which, by the way, most of that water runs into the ground and runs away as contaminated water. Very little of the water that we carry in a fire engine actually does the job of staying in the room that's on fire to extinguish that fire. So by increasing the efficiency of the water, and I say we don't need to do our job a lot better, we just need to do it 1% to 2% better. By putting 1% to 2% of an additive into the water, we can hopefully start to reverse that trend, and obviously the most important thing is save lives and property.
Ben, how does someone find out more about Barricade?
They can go to our website, which is firegel.com, or they can call us at 800-201-3927.
All right, beautiful. All right, with that, we will bring to close this segment of Startup Talk from Indian River State College and the Florida SBDC. Listen, make sure you heard from these two great, innovative, savvy entrepreneurs, but you'd be able to see them on Wednesday, February the 6th, right there on main campus of Indian River State College in the Brown Center. So with that, for more information on all that we offer in the Entrepreneurship Development Institute in terms of business support, you can always check us out on www.irscbiz.com. That's irscbiz.com. And with that, always want to thank our partners here at WPSL and WSTU. And with that, we will see you at the Indian River State College Pioneer Pitch event on Wednesday, February the 6th, and we'll talk to you next Thursday on Startup Talk.
You've been listening to Startup Talk right here on WPSL, Port St. Lucie, WSTU, Stewart, WPSL and WSTU on Alexa, and Google Home worldwide.